Israel, to the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, to your seed I give it, and I shall send my messenger before you, and I shall drive out the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Evite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I do not go up in your midst, because you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way. And when the people heard this evil word, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. And the Creator said to Moshe, say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. Should I go up in your midst for one moment, I shall consume you. And now take off your ornaments, and I shall know what to do to you. So the children of Israel took off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. So there we're seeing that the children of Israel were sent to go up. And this is where they was in a lower land, and it appears that the place of Israel was north of their location. They had to go up, but that's not the issue. The issue is not about going up. It's about going up without the presence of the Creator. I think when Moshe was on the mount in Shemot, Exodus chapter 32, verse 17, he actually was sent to go down, descend. Right? But these people, what is their characteristic is that they are stiff-necked. Right? The Creator promised them a land flowing with milk and honey. Right? I was reading the other day, and it said that this land is the land with the ites that were in it, so they were to be driven out. We saw the Canaanites, the Amorite, and all the others, but the Girgashites not mentioned in it. So we see 6 of the ites, but it's usually 7 that is mentioned. So there's something about the Girgashites why they are not mentioned. But the honey that they used was not just honey that we know. It's the honey that is made with date and figs. Right? Milk and honey, it may represent an imagery, meaning that it's just something to say that something that is pleasant, something that is enjoyable. Right? Some persons take it as the literal goat milk and honey. Right? And the important thing is that the Creator will not be in their midst, but He will send a messenger, and because of their bad behavior. Right? I've heard about a teacher that said, she's not going to take out these students anywhere because these children don't listen to her in class. So it would be a big risk for her to take the students to that outdoor trip, because it's going to be more challenging whenever they get to a new place, and the excitement and the emotions and adrenaline running. Right? So this is an angel, right? And the Creator is saying, look, if I go with them, I'll probably consume them. So you know what? I'm going to send an angel. This was bad news for the people, because the Creator has been with them throughout their deliverance stages from Mitzrayim onward, and they were assured. It's just like we who go out each day trusting that the Creator will bring us back safely home, and He will watch over us and protect us and bless us. If a day comes that I have this least idea that the Creator is not with me, then I will not want to go anywhere. I'd rather sit back and stay put. Right? So I can just imagine these people. They were very disappointed and more than likely worried, to the point that their joy turned to sorrow, and they removed their jewelry. So it seemed as if when they wore their jewelry, it was a joyous time and a happy time. But what can we learn from this is that if you have blessings without the presence of the Creator, it's really a loss, right? And these people, they sinned, and the sin really caused a distance. It caused a distance between them and the Creator, and the Creator didn't want to be in their presence and be associated with them, right? So we must always try to draw nearer to the Creator. And how do we draw nearer? We draw nearer by obeying His commands always, right? The blessing really, is not really in the land that they're going. A lot of persons over this world, even right now we have big land fights, and people compete for real estate and material possessions that will outlive them, right? The land is for people is very sentimental, and there are a lot of memories on it. But these people, there's no joy in the land without the Creator's presence. The Creator's presence is what really should give us joy in our lives, and nothing more than that. Anything else that other than that is bonus. So if we have that, we're good, we're cool, we're airy, we're vibing. So that's our aim, to always have the Creator with us, right? We do not want to have be without His provisions. We won't see success, we won't have the provisions, we won't have any elevation. Our lives and our being and will appear empty if He's not in the midst of His people. So if we are in a setting that does not provide an atmosphere for His presence, it's best that we find other settings that are more peaceful and more favorable, right? I don't really get the jewelry, but I do know that athletes sometimes they run with the jewelry in their mouth, and they give them a vibe, or they run and it will bounce on their chest and they feel good. And I know it can be a fashion statement, but these people, they removed theirs, right? And maybe it's a sign of repentance on their part, right? And it really helped them in their repentance track. Let's read some more about what happened between Moshe and the Creator and these people. Let's continue from verse 7 on to 11. And Moshe took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it to the tent of appointment. And it came to be that everyone who sought the Creator went out to the tent of appointment, which was outside the camp. And it came to be, whenever Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent door and watched Moshe until he entered the tent. Verse 9. And it came to be, when Moshe entered the tent, that the column of cloud descended and stood at the door of the tent, and he spoke with Moshe. And all the people saw the column of cloud standing at the tent door, and all the people rose and bowed themselves, each one at the door of his tent. Thus the Creator spoke to Moshe face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. And he would return to the camp, but his servant YHWH, son of Nun, a young man, did not leave the tent. So there we're seeing the tent of meeting being mentioned, and the presence of the Creator outside the camp. So whenever Moshe went to the tent, he went outside, he pitched the tent, and outside the camp, and anyone who sought the Creator would go to that tent. Whenever he entered the tent, then there would be a pillar of cloud that would appear, that would descend, and that would be at the entrance. And the Creator would speak with Moshe. The people, seeing this awesome sign, would be in awe and would bow in reverence, prostrating themselves at the tent door, and they when no it actually when they would actually watch the pillar of cloud at the tent door, and they would actually be looking and observing in reverence. It is an imagery again to see mention that Moshe spoke with the Creator face to face, like you talking to your friend. And we can look at it literally, but we are aware that the Creator is not. He is spirit, and even though he can send the messengers in any form, right? We understand that his power does not allow for man to behold him just as we behold our brother and sister. So the face to face is actually a representation to say that Moshe enjoyed direct contact with the Creator. It was open, it was an intimate fellowship, and the conversation was direct, right? So Moshe had that opportunity because it was a face-to-face conversation. He had the opportunity to draw near, to learn, and then when he returns to the people, then he would teach the people, right? There is also mention that Yehoshua, son of Nun, he stayed at the tent, lingering in the presence, but of course he did not get the opportunity to go as close as Moshe would have would have gone. Do we notice that the tent of meeting is on the outside and of the camp and not in the middle, right? It's a place where the people could draw nearer to, and we have to recognize that where the presence of the Creator is, that's a set apartness, and not any and anyone can be there. And the people who often fall in sin, they had to stand their ground and stay their distance, right? The Creator is still accessible, but to fellowship with the Creator requires leaving the comfort of the camp and going out to seek Him. A lot of us are, stuck in our old ways, and we do not venture out of what we have been taught or what we've practiced to learn and to develop a warmer fellowship with the Creator. But if we need to, we're going to have to venture out of our old way of practice to go and seek the Creator, just as the people would have to go outdoor to actually behold what was happening in that conversation with the Creator, right? We don't have that. We didn't get that opportunity to have that face-to-face direct with the Creator, right? But we still can have. We can still pray to Him. We can still talk to Him, right? And it's just that it won't be in the same glorious way that Moshe actually spoke with the Creator. Verses 12 through to 17, we read that. And Moshe said to the Creator, "See, you are saying to me, bring up this people, but you have not made known to me whom you would send with me. Though you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my eyes. And now, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please show me your way and let me know you, so that I find favor in your eyes and consider that this nation is your people." And he said, "My presence does go up, and I shall give you rest." And he said, "If your presence is not going, do not lead us up from here. For how then shall it be known that I have found favor in your eyes, I and your people, except you go with us? Then we shall be distinguished, I and your people, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth." And the Creator said to Moshe, "Even this word you have spoken I shall do, for you have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name." That's so beautiful that Creator knows us by name. He knew Moshe by name, and when somebody knows somebody by name, it's not an ordinary relationship or connection, right? In other words, they have the opportunity to ask question to each other and be frank and open, right? So Moshe was saying, please show me your way. That's humility, that's willingness to serve, that's willingness to submit. This matter of stiff-neckedness is has haunted the human nature and has affected Israel significantly, right? And is also to be attributed to the scattering that they have experienced over time, in addition to the breaking of the Shabbat, right? If you say, I have favor, I need to know your ways. So it's very respectful and relevant statement that Moshe made to the Creator. He wanted to walk in it. He wanted to truly find favor in the sight of the Creator. And in the same breath, he's actually saying to the Creator, this nation is your people, right? It's not just that it's your responsibility, it is your people, right? And that's ownership, and they belong to no other deity, and so much more is expected. And so he's basically trying to bargain to get the Creator to say, look, he will go up with them to the promised land and not send the angel. Don't send an ambassador, right? They want the real sender to be with them, and I do not wrong them for that, right? He also made reference to the earlier promises, right? I think one of them was mentioned in Shemot 19 verse 9 and in Shemot 32 verse 10. Moshe was not settling for less, and when we're negotiating, we must always ask for the best that we can get, right? So we can't say we didn't learn some negotiating skills from Moshe. Moshe is saying, look, man, I do not merely want an angelic escort. I want the Creator himself to go with me, not just a messenger. And I mean, I believe they would have been fine, but there's a difference having the right person with you as opposed to the right person's second person, right? And what is the response that the Creator give? This is my verse for the day, and I've been meditating on it. It speaks to me personally, and I'm sure it can speak to you as well. I won't just take it for myself. It says in verse 14, and he said, my presence does go, and I shall give you rest. What great relief and burden would have come off Moshe's shoulder and the rest of Israel just to know that the presence of the Creator is with them. Right? They don't want to walk alone. Right? They want to feel His presence around them as they venture into the world of the uncertain. We don't know what awaits us, but we can step high knowing that the Creator is with us. Right? My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. So it appears that the earlier threat has been reversed. It has been reversed. I'm not any longer sending the angel. I am going with you, right? And that's a result of Moshe's bargaining and reminding of his promises, right? And he promised himself this time, I will go with you. That's good. That's a key for us as we continue on life's journey, right? And Moshe, we see where he had insisted on it, because he's actually asking in verse 16, oh, then shall it be known that I have found favor in your eyes, right? I also want you to know that even though you have acceded to my request, I have another request. I want you to remind us that we are your only people, and we should be the special people among all others of the earth. So Sometimes when you're bargaining and you're so happy, you don't ask for everything. Ask that for what you want. That's what we can extract from this discourse with the Creator and Moshe, right? What distinguishes Israel from all other nations is that the Creator is dwelling among them, not the land, And a lot of persons say, we are not in the land today, so we're not going to do this and we're not going to do that. We're not going to follow that command. We're going to leave that one. I am saying, if I can have the Creator with me, then I can do any of His command, barring none, right? So that's a takeaway for us. And the Creator replied to the additional request and say, I will also do this thing, affirming Moshe has found favor and that his request is accepted. That's what we see in verse 17. The Creator said to Moshe, even this word you have spoken I shall do, for you have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name. Right? So, my name, I know He knows my name, and because of that, we have an advanced relationship with the Creator. It's very wonderful to find true favor from the Creator, right? And to have His presence over any little assignments, any projects that we have to do. How do we know the Creator's people? I'm not going to be using land anymore, but I want to use, we want His people are marked by His nearness, right? Not just the inheritance, which of course has been a big thing for ages, and doesn't seem to be anytime settling soon. So we learn from Moshe here that we must be persistent in our intercession, right? And do not tolerate the distance. Do not make distance between yourself and the Creator by sinning and turning against His commands, right? Let us keep pressing in and remind Him of His promises to us. Remind that He promised that His presence will be with us, right? And that's why sometimes we pray, call on those promises that He had made, reiterate them, right? Be stubborn to the point where, like Moshe, he refused to be separated from the Creator, right? And he knew that it is what he needs to walk faithfully and walk well. Let's read the last few verses from verses 18 through to 23. 18 to 23. Then he said, please show me your esteem. Wait, this is the third question. Anyway, and he said, I shall cause all my goodness to pass before you, and I shall proclaim the name of the Creator before you, and I shall favor him whom I favor, and shall have compassion on whom I have compassion. But he said, you are unable to see my face, for no man does see me and live. And the Creator said, see, there is a place with me, and you shall stand under a rock. And it shall be, while my esteem passes by, that I shall put you in the cleft of the rock, and cover you with my hand while I pass by. Then I shall take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen. Right, so he doesn't stop asking Moshe, right? He wants to see the glory. Show me your glory, your goodness, your compassion. Show me your hidden face. He's a child that, these are humble, innocent questions, but they're sincere. He wants to know. And Moshe was getting a lot of yes answers, right? So he asked more. Please show me your glory. The Creator responds, he will make all his goodness pass before Moshe, proclaiming his name and revealing his attributes of compassion, grace, favor, and mercy. Right? We will read more about that in the next chapter tomorrow evening, all being well. He declares his freedom. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. Yet he says, you're not going to see my face. No one can see my face and live. right? So there's a limit to what the human flesh can endure of divine glory, right? And that has to be pointed out to Moshe, right? But he got a little chance. He said that there's a place by him. Moshe will stand on the rock, and when his glory passes by, Creator will cover him with his hand. And that's a human term that we understand, but of course it is still just for us to understand, because the Creator does not have a literal limb, right? And then he would let him see his back. What we know about back is that when you see the back side of somebody, you're not seeing their true representation. It is the face that really best helps to identify a person. Yes, whenever I see an extra sexy lady, if she's in my vicinity frequently, then I can recognize that might be her. But if there's nothing like seeing the face, that is sure, because there are many persons whose back look the same, right? So he got a slight glimpse, but not the face, right? Moshe wanted more, but it still will be a mystery, because human being did not get this. Moshe did not get to see the face of the Creator. But I think Moshe should be pleased and satisfied that majority of his requests were acceded to, right? But what we notice about Moshe, he was really hungry to know more about the Creator. He was hungry for deep revelation, and that's good, right? It's not a bad thing. You know, a person sometimes intimidate you and say, oh, you're reading too much Bible, you're following too much Torah. And they lack the hunger to learn more about the Creator, right? If it's His will, He will reveal to us, but we must continue asking, right? Nothing's wrong with that. Don't be stuck in what you know, or be afraid to learn something that you weren't taught by anyone earlier, right? The truth is not just what you were taught, but there is always something new to learn. And it's very disappointing and distasteful to see people actually talking on strong confidence when they do not study, and they only rely on what they have known from 10 years ago, right? And that appears to be sheer arrogance, right? So we have some key lessons here. The Creator reveals His character more than His form, right? That's not the main thing. His character is important. His mercy, His sovereignty, and those attributes defines His glory. So we're at the end of that chapter, and I'd really want to know that the compassion, the grace, and the mercy, that's more important than the visible shape. Knowing who is the Creator is matters more than seeing what He looks like, right? There's a direct relationship and communication that is available to us, but we cannot see His face, right? But we still can rely on what He has disclosed to us. So just to summarize this chapter of Shemot, Exodus chapter 33, we see that we have access to the Creator, right? And with this access, we must have the drive and the passion and the hunger, right? We see the Creator is revealed as one that is inviting. See Him as one that can withdraw His presence from His people, but yet still respond to bold, humble intercessions. And Moshe showed us that true favor is not in land, victory, or status, but in walking with the Creator Himself. This chapter calls us to value presence over blessing, to step outside the camp, to seek the Creator, and to hunger, not just for answers, but for His ways and His glory. So that is the takeaway I'd want us to leave with today. First, to ask the Creator, Father, let Your presence go with us and show us Your ways. All praises to the Creator. Any perspectives we could add to this reading?